Centers are a staple in every preschool setting, but are yours running as optimally as they could be? In this video, I'll give you some tips to help you get your centers up and running efficiently. I will break this video down into 3 sections. Planning, setup, and introduction will be one, then the materials, and then finally the management. You want tips? I got tips. Hi there, I'm Miss Celeste, your co-teacher and former classroom teacher, and I help new preschool teachers develop efficient systems and processes for effective classroom management. And if you're looking for a place for new preschool teachers to share your wins, your lessons learned, while also getting some tips and tricks about classroom management, go ahead and join my Facebook group. The link is in the description. So I am just going to get right into it. This video is all tips, so I will not be saying tip 1, tip 2, or any of that stuff. All you need to do is just grab your pen, your notepad, and catch these gems. So let's do it. Centers provide hands-on experiences and are one way to nurture social interactions between students and adults in the classroom. Centers can include art, music and movement, math, science, sensory, and so many more. So first you have to figure what centers do you want, and then figure out what kind of area you want to create. Do you want it to be cozy? Do you want it to be open? And you have to think about how many children can be in that area for safety. Can the materials travel around the classroom, or do you want them to remain inside that area? Then you want to define the space using the tables, the rugs, and the shelves. And this can be done at any time in the school year. You don't have to wait until the beginning of the school year or even the mid-year point. You can do it whenever you want. Because maybe you want to change a center or maybe even add another center. So those thoughts are still relevant. Then you want to label everything. If you want the children cleaning up and putting the items back in the proper spots, then it is super important to label the containers and the shelves. Imagine walking through a store where every box on the shelf didn't have a label on it for you to tell what was inside of it. That would be frustrating, right? So we have to think about that whenever we are creating these centers, or even at setup at the beginning of the year. We have to make sure that we are creating an environment that will not frustrate the children, especially if it's something that can easily be avoided by just labeling the container and the shelf. One more thing you may want to consider is the type of containers that you are using for your center activities and items. And that is to make sure that those containers are ones where the children can open and close them easily, so that this can possibly reduce or eliminate any possibility of some meltdowns or huge messes. For more ideas on planning and setup of your classroom environment that I have not mentioned in this video, go ahead and download my free guide. The link is in the description. So as far as materials are concerned, you want to make sure that you are putting out enough items for the children to engage with, and so that they don't get bored. You also may want to put some things away so that you can actually rotate items in and out throughout the year. But also think about, if there aren't enough items out, then this could also lead to maybe some altercations between the children because there aren't enough items out. So it's nice to have like a good variety of items for the children to play with. So this will increase opportunities for them to actually interact positively with each other, and while making those connections, they're also learning. But if a center has become boring and children are not interested in it anymore, you may want to add a little something to it, like maybe props related to a theme or a season or even a holiday. And all of that can add the razzle dazzle that that center may need. And here's a pro tip: you can find holiday and seasonal items after that holiday or season. So if you get all your things that you need for the current year, at the end of that season, you will be able to find items that you can use for the following year for less than half price. I've seen items on sale for like 75% off after the holiday, and even up to 90% also. And if you're looking for items all year around, you can look at apps like OfferUp or Mercari, and maybe even Facebook Marketplace. And if you're looking for larger items, you can try an organization like Donors Choose. So now you have your center set up and your materials are ready to use, but how are you going to make sure that things are running smoothly? Well, I got you covered. Do not assume that the children know how to use or how to take care of the items that you have in your centers. You have to teach and demonstrate everything, and that includes how to use the materials in each of the areas. You can set an amount for the number of children that can be in an area, and you want to clearly discuss how and when children can enter and leave that area. For example, maybe you want them to use name tags. Review the rules about starting and stopping activities in your areas. For example, what are they supposed to do when it's cleanup time? Or what are they supposed to do when there's a fire drill? And you want to make sure that the children know how to put things away, put them back where they belong. Do not assume anything. And you have your picks on your containers and on your shelves. What could also help is using visual reminders in the areas of children actually using the materials appropriately in those areas. And for cleanup time, you want to make sure that you give like a 5-minute warning to let them know so that they can get prepared for this transition to take place. When you're thinking about how you want to manage your classroom and your centers, you want to think about what do you want to see and what do you want to hear in each of the areas, and then how are you going to convey that to them. If you're freshening up an area or a center, you want to make sure that you are explaining to them what is happening or what will happen, and also whatever you're bringing in because of the rotation of your materials that you're doing that we talked about earlier. You want to make sure that you are explaining to them how to use those materials as well. And another pro tip to help you through the hustle and bustle in the morning is to prep your centers or your center tables, depending on the situation, before you leave for the day, so that when you walk into the school in the morning, then you won't have to worry about setting anything up, and then you can actually have some moments to yourself before the first children get there. It will help you avoid the stress and the morning rush of prepping that morning. So we know that having centers in our classroom is a great way to provide hands-on experiences that encourage exploration and social interactions. And with proper introduction and time to practice, and of course visual reminders, your centers will eventually run themselves. Well, I hope you heard some things here that will help you with your classroom centers. And if so, go ahead and give this video a like so other new preschool teachers can find it. And also, while you're at it, go ahead and subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you know when the next video will be posted. Until then, I'll see you soon. Bye.